Just when I thought it was over, just when I thought we had a moment of peace and sanity, I thought we were all ready just to move on and get on with this thing after this disaster has continued to persist with the Louisville basketball program. One man just will not let it go, is going to make me come out of the wilderness and be a KP hater again. And I am so sorry, but we have to do it now.
Welcome to Kentucky.
What's cooking? Welcome back into ESPN Louisville Plus. My name is Justin Soforo, if you don't know who I am already. And before we do anything, I'm going to ask you all a big favor. If you could, go in there, smash that freaking like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Please share this out to your friends. Let them know what we're doing here. We're trying to build this platform and trying to bring more and more to you all each and every single day to this, and as well as all the other content we bring at ESPN Louisville. As well, if you want, follow me on Twitter at Justin Soforo. Now, before anything, I know how Kenny Payne is feeling right now.
Something that I wasn't prepared for, and that was the hatred.
Well, it's been a while now, so I feel like you probably should be pretty accustomed to some hatred that you're going to get from the University of Louisville fans and maybe just people around here who are just not too happy with some of the agenda that's been going on. And again, the reason that I'm so upset and the reason that I'm so angry about this particular article that came out, and I want to clarify something. I'm not putting it all on Rick Bozich, the one man who I blame this on. It's going to be Kenny Payne. Kenny Payne utilizing friendships to make him look bad. And that's why, to me, he is a habitual line stepper.
So he would step across the line. Habitually, he's a habitual line stepper.
But Rick Bozich has done quite a bit to really ruffle the feathers of a lot of Louisville fans and really to get us a little bit perturbed when it comes to Kenny Payne, Kenneth Victor Payne, in the last 2 years under him, and his refusal to really put anything on Kenny Payne, to really just try to give him the benefit of the doubt at every moment, every scenario. It's been Louisville's fault. It's been the players' fault. It's been whoever's fault. It's always been not enough talent, bad families. It's been just these guys who can't get it through their head. They can't understand what's going on here. It's always somebody else's fault, right? Always somebody else's fault when it comes to Kenny Payne. It can't just be that Kenny Payne is a bad coach. Now, when this article came out, and it again was just I will hit on some of the main points and some of the, we'll read a little bit of it and get into that. But overall, the main thing that came to this article was basically just an argument to give Kenny Payne a year 3. And the reason, while maybe your initial reaction, my initial reaction was just to get mad at Rick Bozich. I'm not putting this on Rick Bozich. I'm not mad at Rick Bozich. I think Rick Bozich is a really, really good journalist. I think, unfortunately, he is too good of a friend. I think he's too good of a friend to Kenny Payne. I think he's much too good to him. I don't know if Kenny Payne is helping him out or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what you have to do to get a friend like Rick Bozich who will stick by you through. I mean, this is the bottom. This is rock bottom. I don't know how much worse it can get for somebody not to just be like, man, I can't continue to sell out for you. But he's willing to do it in the scenario. Journalistic integrity be damned, I guess. But at this point, making excuses continues. And I just believe that the pressure is being put on Rick Bozich to do it from Kenny Payne. I mean, Kenny Payne goes out there, and there's one guy. He refuses for years to go to any favors, to call one single favor in. You know, one way that would actually help if you called in favors to bring in some GD good players. How about if you actually called in a favor to get some real coaches? How about somebody call in some favors to give you whatever it is you need to win the actual bleeping games, not just stay employed? But once again, we have Kenny Payne reaching out to Rick Bozich to sing his praises, to talk well about him, just for his own benefit at the detriment of Rick Bozich, and what I think a lot of people probably believe when they read his articles now. Again, love Rick Bozich. This is frustrating. Let's get into this. Some of the different parts of the article, what he read out there. First part that I really highlighted was the howling from U of L fans and critics remains fierce, relentless, and understandable. Suffering 47 losses in 59 games set off alarms that got louder when the Cardinals were blitzed by Notre Dame at home on Wednesday night. But that does not mean that Kenny Payne has surrendered. He has not. Thank you. Here's the problem. If you feel like you actually have to put in an article that he has not surrendered, that he has not quit, that he's actually doing his job, that's the problem. We don't know that he's doing a job. We don't know that he's done anything that makes him complicit of actually running an actual basketball organization. That's my problem. He goes on to say, actually, he has taken his recruiting pitch up a notch. Well, that's pretty damn easy, given that he has one recruit that's not even signed right now. So that's not even how difficult could it be to say that you took it up a notch from nothing to something? That would be the only move that you could make, would be from 0 to 1. That is something. I guess that is taking it up a notch. Goes on to say that there is a path to year 3 on his 6-year contract. If the administration stands behind him and Payne makes several changes, including a staff of assistants and support personnel. Oh, you mean the shit that we asked for over a year ago? You mean the stuff that we demanded about a year and a half ago when we realized that the coaches that they hired were useless? When Danny Manning just barely will stand up during a basketball game. Now, at least a couple times, once or twice during the season, against Miami is the one that I took it, he's put on glasses and actually been able to read what's on the paper in front of him. Nolan Smith, I'm cutting Nolan Smith a break. I'm not going to Nolan Smith today. I don't need his family in my DMs today. I don't need Nolan Smith tweeting at me, or not him. I don't need his little sister or whoever else tweeting at me about Nolan Smith. You know about Nolan Smith. There's nothing to talk about that. Josh Jameson, swoosh Jameson, whatever, checkmark Jameson, whatever you want to say. My man's not a coach. I don't know what he does. I have no idea what he offers to this program. I don't know why he's here outside of KP's a friend and wants to get him a better job, more money. Instead, he probably ruined every single one of their careers. I don't know how you hire a single person on the staff. Maybe Nolan Smith, but I still don't understand how you hire Nolan Smith after you see the performance that this staff has put together in the last 2 years. Moving forward, let's go to the second part of this article. He goes on to say another motivated group of Louisville fans who support Payne are working to strengthen the program's pitch and name, image, and likeness, the monetary fuel to modern recruiting. No bleeping shit. I don't know what to tell you. Really? Now you're working on NIL. I'm sorry, you mean the guy who said, I don't want to, I have it, but I'm not gonna put it out there. I'm not gonna use it as a recruiting pitch, a recruiting tool to get you here. You mean how everybody else has been doing it right now? How everybody realizes you need to utilize this to bring players in, but now you want to do it. Now that it looks like you're on the chopping block, you're finally gonna be fired, and you are gonna be fired. I'm sorry. I'm not hearing any of the other articles from everybody else that likes to put out, or not even articles, but just people out there who are saying nobody knows. Yes, I do know. There is no way a year 3 happens. Look at the facts. Look at what's happening. Look at the arena. Look at the loss of money. Look at the loss of investors. Look at everything that is happening around the basketball program during year 3. So I think, okay, I'm going on a tangent right now, but year 2 was already I said this last season and I stick with it. Signing up for 2 years of Kenny Payne is signing Louisville up for the death penalty. The death penalty has already been self-inflicted upon the University of Louisville. No, and NCAA never did it. U of L decided to voluntarily do it to themselves by hiring Kenny Payne. Obviously, whenever you hear the death penalty, you mean it's done, it's over, it's never, the program's never coming back. I tended to believe that. I still believe now it's definitely can be resuscitated after this season. I don't know if a year 3 of this can be resuscitated after that. I don't know, because that is, when you talk about the fans, the generation of fans that will never know Louisville basketball be anything but trash, to not make a NCAA tournament, to not win any NCAA tournament games. You have to realize, like, last time, we think about the golden era, we think about, when I say golden era, obviously it was the 80s, but then, for me, the golden era was early 20-teens, when Rick was making the Final Fours and winning the championship and all that went along with that. That's long gone. The generation of kids growing up playing basketball today don't know any of that. That's the history books for them, which is wild for me to say. It makes me feel old as hell. We continue on, though, and talk about Kenny Payne and his nonsense, where it says that Payne has the attention of 2 top 20 recruits. Woo, 2 recruits. Kenny Payne has 2 recruits in the top 20 that actually have his attention. No, they're not going to guarantee commit, but they have his attention. He has their attention. Now, well, great. Congratulations, Kenny Payne. The reason we hired you was because, guess what? You were supposed to be getting those recruits from day bleeping 1. And when you can say that whenever Louisville hired, whenever, people knew Kenny Payne was going to be hired in February of 2022. We knew that for a fact. and he wasn't doing his job. He put off and waited till everybody else was already getting started when Louisville should have had a head start, and he didn't do his job. The recruiting grapevine says they are primed to commit to the Cardinals. They are primed to commit to the Cardinals. Okay. If a big if in italicized, and their parents are assured that Payne will be their coach next season. Carter Knox, ranked 19th in the class of 2024, is a small forward listed as 6 foot 5 inches and 205 pounds. He's the younger brother of NBA forward Kevin Knox, a player Payne recruited to Kentucky in 2017. Payne's relationship with Knox's parents, Michelle and Kevin, has been solid for years. Mom and dad visited U of L with their son before Christmas. Yeah, I remember that visit. We all talked about that visit very, very clearly. We saw what happened. Let's not misconstrue anything. If Carter Knox was a viable option for Kentucky and they actually wanted him, he'd be committed to Kentucky right now. He'd be going to BBN. He'd be going there right now. Two things can be said. Either A, Carter Knox is not nearly as good of a player as people thought he was going to be, and he probably isn't. Or B, he is a tool that he's being utilized. I don't know if he's being given money to do this. I don't know at this point. Make your money how you got to do it. I don't care, dollar bill, y'all. But when it comes to this, like he's a tool being leveraged by Kenny Payne, and he's being leveraged regardless of how this works out or not. But he's being leveraged by Kenny Payne to hold off for committing to anywhere, even if it's freaking South Florida, which he may be going to South Florida. He's signed with Adidas now. Or he could be going to the NBA G League if he's not able to go to Kentucky. But try to act like he is surely going to commit to Louisville if Kenny Payne gets another year. I don't care, bro. I don't care. Let's move forward and let's continue with this conversation as we talk about the situation for Kenny Payne and the garbage that's being spewed for him by Rick Bozich. Again, love Rick Bozich. I know this sounds harsh. Love Rick Bozich, but this is filth. This is filth that I'm reading. The word is that Kenny Payne flew to the Detroit area to watch a top class of 2025 recruit Friday night, a point guard who would not play for the Cardinals for 2 seasons. That's not the schedule of a coach who has surrendered. Rick. Is it Richard? Is it Richard? Rick. Come on. For 2 seasons. So you're telling me so we're just going to be held at gunpoint by 2 recruits. One guy getting Carter Knox next season, and then another recruit who is a point guard who wouldn't play for 2 more seasons. We're going to wait that long. So we're basically giving 4 years. Basically what you're saying is Kenny Payne needs 4 years now. Come on. Blend 3 or more recruits. Blend 3 or more recruits. I'm sorry. This is a comedy piece at this point. Blend 3 or more recruits in the transfer portal additions to a roster that could easily feature every important player on the current roster for the 2024-2025 season. You win with veteran teams in college basketball these days, as Payne has said it repeatedly. The Cards ranked 310th in Division I experience at Ken Pomeroy's analytics website. U of L typically starts 1 junior, 3 sophomores, and a freshman, sometimes 2 freshmen currently. So this is the argument that's being placed by Rick Bozich. They're young, no bleep. That's what you do. That's what Cal does. Cal uses that excuse every year, and it works out for Cal because Cal isn't dog shit. There's a reason. Cal doesn't put out completely dog shit teams. That's why. If he's brought back, Kenny Payne's first job won't be to win more games. His challenge during the spring, summer, and fall will be to get more Louisville fans back on board and help the athletic department fill the growing number of empty seats in KFC Yum Center. Yeah, let me enlighten you a little bit. The only way that you can do that is win bleeping games. That's the only possible way. And at this point, it's not even to win bleeping games. If you bring back Kenny Payne, I can promise you many of those people will not come back. They will not come back until he's gone. Unless he performs some miracle at midcourt. Unless Jesus Christ himself comes back and saves Kenny Payne's career, it ain't happening, bro. It's done. There's no possibility of Kenny Payne being a successful coach at the University of Louisville ever. It's done. It's over. Let's move on. Running back, the same staff won't move the needle. Payne was encouraged to change his staff last summer, but chose to remain loyal. Loyalty, right? It's about loyalty. It's about loyalty to these guys that can coach. Danny May, Nolan Smith, Josh Jameson. The Cards are better than last season, but at 8-19 overall and 3-13 in the ACC, they are far from where they need to be. Getting to where the program needs to be as quickly as possible remains a challenge. We should know the path Louisville plans to take to get there into the next few weeks. Yeah, let me enlighten you. Kenny and Ricky, it's going to be to move on to a better coach. It's to go hire somebody else to do the job that Kenny Payne has failed to do for the last 2 seasons. He's done. And again, I'm sorry. It's because I'm reading the article that I'm sounding more vitriolic. I'm not trying to actually be that way with Rick Bozich. I'm sorry, Rick. You are being used as a tool. The same way Carter Knox is being used right now. You're being held against the fans of the University of Louisville. You were made to look bad on behalf of your friend. And you're a good friend. You're a great friend at that point. That's the only thing that I can really come up with is that you are one of the best friends that you can have in your entire life. That you would stick near with Kenny Payne through all of this while he continues to make you look bad and to make you look as wrong as possible about your belief in him, yet you continue to stand by Kenny Payne. At this point, Kenny Payne is the habitual line stepper. He continues to use you while he continues to fail and not do his job. Guess what? Instead of right now trying to fight for the job right now at the end of the second year of the season, just to say, hey, and fill us with more lies as he did last season and say, guess what? We can bring these players in. We're going to do that. And then we're going to have a chance to win. Instead of doing that, he should have actually put the damn work in last season and throughout this year to actually win a few bleeping more games. At this point, it's obvious. Kenny Payne can't coach. He doesn't know how to coach. He decided not to call in favors to actually get recruits and players to bring them in. He called in his only favor to bring in Rick Bozich to come and shield him and be the meat shield for him while once again failing his players, failing his staff, and failing the university and the fans. It's time to move on. We are going to move on. Josh Hurd is going to move on. I have no doubt in that. But this, again, is just a bad look and wasting more of our time. Congratulations. You continue to drive that wedge between the fan base and with the university. Kenny Payne, please, for all of our sakes, take the cash and run. Just go and get out of our sights. That's all we need. That's all I need. That's all I can do at this point. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Once again, just frustrating for me as a fan to continue to have to do this year in, year out, every single day of the last 2 years. If you haven't already, please smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. You can follow me at Justin Soforo on Twitter. And of course, you can follow ESPN Louisville at ESPN6A on all the different things, platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that. And of course, you can do that with 93.9 The Ville as well. I'll see you guys next time.